So is the BJP right in really opening or demanding a probe in this case at this point of time? Joining us now is Aman Sinha, leader BJP and senior advocate at Supreme Court. We've also got Sanjay Jha, spokesperson for Congress. We've got Amita Mukhopadhyay, former Director General at CAG, Hartosh Singh Bal, political editor for The Caravan, and of course in the studio with us is Jitendra Bhargava, former Executive Director, Air India. Sanjay Jha, I'm going to come first to you. Praful Patel in his interview to Times Now says that it wasn't just his decision, there was an EGOM involved headed by P. Chidambaram. There is still no defense as to why 40 extra planes were actually decided to be ordered.
Well, let me answer your question by actually quoting to you the Supreme Court verdict. That is so central to the entire discussion that you have been doing on Times Now over the last couple of days on Mr. Vinod Rai's book. The Supreme Court has categorically mentioned that the prerogative belongs to the government in terms of pricing of natural resources, and auctions or competitive bidding is not the only route. That by itself completely trashes both the 2G number of 1,76,000
Mr. Sanjay Jha, let's talk about the planes.
Number of coal of 1,86,000.
Let's talk about the planes, Aviation Minister and Praful Patel.
That is central.
No, what is central today to this discussion, this debate here on Sunday evening is what prompted the order of 40 extra planes?
I said at the beginning.
Why did the Aviation Minister allow it?
I said it is linked to it. Let me explain to you. That exposes the astronomical absurdities that were floated, that were actually nothing but fantasy numbers.
No, these are
let's not talk about the entire book by itself or the 2G scam or the coal scam.
Let me explain the linkage to you.
No, let's limit this to Air India. Let's limit it to that specific meeting that happened in August of 2004. And what has been said about the then Aviation Minister. Let's just limit it to that. Let us not go into the details of 2G and coal scam. That is for another day and another debate. The point here is, did or did not a certain aviation minister nudge for a proposal, and was it an overall EGOM's decision? Is it then everybody that has to be blamed here?
Well, you could have saved yourself a lot of bother. You have just let me continue. The point I was trying to make, which is linked to Mr. Praful Patel's answer on your channel to Arnab that he gave yesterday, was the job of the CAG is to look at the functioning of the operating procedures, financial,
the very Supreme Court that you quoted, Sanjay Jha, and said that the CNAG is not just an accountant, it's also the conscience keeper of the nation. So the question is, who approved?
Let me explain to you.
I have a former director of Air India with us in the panel today, Sanjay Jha, and he says, he also says that the decision was entirely of the ministry.
It is the
former civil aviation minister says it was a decision that was also endorsed by the EGOM. The question is, why didn't the civil aviation minister question the purchase of 40 extra planes when he knew very well that Air India cannot afford it?
Anand, I'm just answering your question. Please try and understand. You need to have this discussion in a context. Otherwise, you'll have nothing but,
let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. We have other panelists.
The point I'm making is, it is the job of the government. I'll give you an example. It is a job of the government to decide as to whether the telecom sector needed a subsidy.
No.
Man could have low
Sanjay Jha, hold on. I'm going to bring in Jitendra Bhargava, and he's going to rebut your argument straight away.
I'm coming to the issue of airplanes.
He's getting into the technicalities which are not material to this case.
On the issue of airplanes,
let's look at it.
Whether
Air
the
India had a turnover of rupees 8,000 crore in the year 2004-05.
to buy large aircrafts for a better
How can a company...
Let's listen to the former Air India director, Sanjay Jha.
With a very modest profit, with no reserves virtually, order aircraft worth 38,000 crore. Airline industry, we all know, works on wafer-thin margins of 1 to 2%, the best of airlines in the world. How was it that anybody submitting a proposal, and ministry's job is, as he very rightly says, is to scrutinize. There are ministry bureaucrats who are on the board of Air India. There is a minister who gives approval to these kind of proposals. That how would you repay the huge debt that you are taking? That is the crux of the whole problem which has crippled Air India. Now coming to the EGOM specifically, you see Mr. Patel made a very spirited defense that he went to the Prime Minister and asked him to constitute an oversight committee and EGOM, empowered group of ministers. Now, what he has done is to have misled the nation. I have the minutes of both the oversight committee and the EGOM with me. There is not a single reference to any discussion taking place with respect to the number of aircraft being ordered. Now, question is very clear. these people who were on EGOM had no domain knowledge of the aviation sector. Now, when you say that EGOM, with Chidambaram named specifically, turned options into firm order for 15 of these long-haul aircraft. Now, you know what is the value of these 15 aircraft? $2 billion. Now, imagine EGOM functioning in such a casual manner that you take a decision for $2 billion in one meeting. Times now, I did a story some time ago that 80, 90 EGOMs were constituted by the UPA government. Many of the EGOMs did not even meet.
Right,
and here is a specific case where one EGOM takes a decision.
Let's get Sanjay Jha to respond on that, sir. He's got the minutes of the meeting. Are the minutes now lying? Or is it true that there was no discussion on buying of excess of 40 aircrafts in that specific EGOM?
Well, let me tell you that yesterday you had Mr. Praful Patel categorically and explicitly tell you that all the decisions that were taken followed a certain procedure and process, while people who were empowered to take the decisions took them. Now, if anybody feels that there was a decision was wrong, 1 minute, what stopped the CAG to file an FIR earlier? By the way,
what stopped the minister from raising the bogey?
Even today,
what stopped the minister from saying, hello, Air India cannot afford this? What stopped the EGOM from saying $2 billion?
That's exactly.
Can Air India afford it? Why? What stopped? What stopped? What stopped? You just said. You just now said.
That's exactly the point.
You outlined the role of the CNAG.
That's exactly the point I'm trying to make on your channel.
And now you say that they should also go and file an FIR.
Try and understand that decisions which are taken include not just, the question of buying how much aircraft. You could be getting a substantial discount. There could be many other structures to a deal. I mean,
but that is the failure we are talking about. That the whole scrutiny did not take place impartially and without pressure being exercised on the people who were supposed to scrutinize. It is a blunder that cannot be covered up. Many kind of false defense.
Sanjay Jha,
a decision to purge.
No, we just stay on.
For example,
just stay on, Sanjay Jha. I'll come back to you. I'm just going to bring in the other panelists. We did not
want revenue maximization.
No. The arguments cannot differ in different cases.
The gap was so huge that under no circumstances, Mr. Jha, can I explain to you? To repay the debt on 38,000 crore, the installments of interest, Air India needed a turnover of 75,000 crore if you consider the profitability factor of airlines like Singapore Airlines and British Airways. Now, and mind you, 75,000 crore is not even the turnover of all Indian carriers, 6 of them put together. There was just no way that Air India could have paid.
Right.
It was it was an open and shut case. The ministry failed because when one board member raised the question of business plan, how will you fund it? He was transferred summarily within 2 hours, even before he reached.
We'll come to that in just a bit. We'll come to that in just a bit. But Aman Sinha, here's the thing. In the case of 2G, the decision was entirely of the minister. In the case of civil aviation, it was the EGOM and it was endorsed by everybody. Now, something doesn't add up in both the cases, isn't it? And you can't do a flip-flop in either.
Oh, absolutely, Anand. And first, let me correct my friend, Mr. Sanjay Jha, who's unfortunately hell-bent on misquoting and misinterpreting Supreme Court judgments. In fact, even in 2G cases, all the allotments were cancelled. And the government is entitled to make a policy, but in guise of policy, they cannot commit an illegality. And if they commit, then courts will strike it down as they have been doing. Anyhow, without getting into more details, let me just point out at the outset that when the NDA government, previous NDA government left office, Air India was the biggest domestic carrier and was in a relatively good financial health. Now, in past 8-10 years, due to series of flawed, commercial and illegal decisions which have been taken by the Civil Aviation Ministry and the UPA government, the Air India became one of the worst performing airlines all over the world. Today, we have debt running to around 40,000 crores. Losses are 16,000 crores. Every day, 7 crores is only paid to service the interest which is accrued on debt.
True.
So this is this, and at the point when Mr. Praful Patel left office, Air India slipped to 5th, the last rank among the domestic carriers.
Yeah, hang on, Sanjay Jha.
So it clearly shows and clearly reflects that there was something seriously wrong.
True.
And the CAG report from 2005 to 2010 on aviation sector also clearly points out what Mr. Vinod Rai told to Arnab in his interview, which was namely that there was the decision to purchase these 68 aircrafts was totally a flawed decision. it was a commercially totally unviable and untenable decision.
Correct.
And this was also vindicated and
Aman Sinha,
reiterated by the financial advisor, who was moved out within 48 hours of giving that opinion.
Right. Aman
So
Sinha,
therefore, this is a very serious case, and the government intends to.
Right. I know you made your point. I agree. But
Yes,
I'm just going to
please go
bring in
ahead,
Amitabh Mukhopadhyay, also former Director General of the CNAG. Mr. Mukhopadhyay.
No, but just let me finish.
Yes, quickly. Okay, 30 seconds, Aman Sinha. Go ahead, please.
No, I was saying that this is a very serious case, and government is considering it, and I'm sure the government will investigate it at the right point in time. Absolutely.
Right. Now, Mr. Mukhopadhyay, was there pressure on the CNAG? Do you agree with what Sanjay Jha says, that why didn't the CNAG flag it and he's putting the onus back on the CNAG? And do you agree with the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, who says, I did my duty, but I don't want to comment on what the former CNAG, Vinod Rai, has to say?
Let me just say two things before I come to the specific question you've asked about the PM. In this particular case, I don't think the PM was in the wrong, in the sense that the PMO sent back the EGOM approval to the Ministry of Civil Aviation to inform and go ahead with the agreement. They did not really meddle with it. But the two issues which are very important in the case of the acquisition of aircraft are, first of all, the sharply rising trend of oil prices, jet fuel oil prices. From 2003, they skyrocketed, and the entire trend shows you that nobody in his right mind would have been wanting to increase the number of aircraft to be purchased, unless they were preparing for some kind of a world war, or where you need, you need a Luftwaffe, or you need the British force or something like that, where a war has broken out or something, you need this kind of a national carrier to salvage itself and the nation. So look at the fuel prices, the jet fuel prices skyrocketing right from 2003 to 2005 when the decision was taken. So Praful Patel was not in his right mind to advocate the purchase of more aircraft. What he did, you see, the word nudged
Right,
is
Mr.
being
Amitabh,
played
I
about
think
with.
the point that you're trying
The
to make
word
here
nudged.
is of the kind of situation that was there when you talk about the aviation industry that didn't really justify this decision, and the situation just worsened. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there was a story which also said that Mr. Roy Paul, the aviation secretary, wrote to PMO. Hartosh Singh Bal, you want to come in on this and say and tell us that whether it was just the CAG report itself or there were other indicators that something was terribly wrong with this decision?